Hi everybody and welcome to the Open eCry midweek market commentary for the 15th of May. My name's Simon Clark from Trade with Precision and I'll be discussing the markets that are hot or of key interest right now. Now the first market I'm going to take a look at here is the YI contract. Now this is the mini silvers futures contract. And I've been speaking about the silver contract here for the past couple of weeks on the midweek market commentary because there's been a trade setting up which has now triggered over the past week, and I just want to give you an update on what's going on. Now first of all, here on the monthly chart, the key level that we were quite interested in was this level around this sort of 26 area here, and you can see that price has sort of broken under this and it's starting to head down. So we've actually come up against a key level of support and now we've sort of broken that. Coming down here to the weekly chart, we can see that whilst in this recent leg of the trend, this current move here on the monthly chart, this current leg of the trend has just been formed a nice series of lower highs, lower lows. We've got a nice structured trend and all of our moving averages have been fanning in that right order, and we've actually had another level, a slightly higher level here that's been a bit more defined on the weekly chart, which is just above that 26 level. That level's been broken and price has been falling underneath it. Coming down to the daily chart, we can just see that price action in a bit more detail, and what we were looking for was really on these lower time frames for a trading opportunity, and we were looking at almost sort of like a level of price support and resistance which happened to be around this sort of 24 level if I sort of scroll back. Now this level had been sort of tested a few times through here, as you can see. Price came back up. Last week it retested this level, couldn't continue higher, and now it's sort of fallen away. And in doing so, what we've actually had is we've had numerous trend flow trading opportunities on these lower time frames. So this is the 4-hour chart, but even going down to the 2-hour chart and the 60-minute chart, we've had some nice trend flow setups on these markets, or on this particular market, as price comes into the sell zone. Now at the moment, price is sort of drifted, it's pulled right the way down, and we're coming up fairly up close to these old lows down the bottom here. And I had a sort of initial target of sort of looking around the sort of 22 area. So let me just open up the daily chart and show you really what I'm looking at here. Because when we take a look at the daily chart, we can see that we've got this level where price has tested a few times before, so it's about sort of 22, sort of 70. We're coming up fairly close to it now, and here on the daily we've still got some divergence here on the MACD. The RSI has rolled over, the MACD is just starting to roll over, but it's just indicating, because we're a little bit overextended, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get a little bit of a bounce here. So I'm certainly looking at covering risk here and seeing if price will then bounce and roll over and look for continued trading opportunities to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for on the silver trade, and that's just a quick update on that. Okay, the next market I'm going to take a look at is CAD Swiss. Now I was looking at CAD Swiss last week as well, and we're looking at trading opportunities around this sort of 9400 level. Now the market's still trending in a nice direction to the high side, so let's just take a look at the analysis, because there's some more trading opportunities I believe setting up throughout the next few days. So looking at CAD Swiss, here on the monthly chart, we can see that since price has made this big low down here, we've now come up to make a high, we've now had a higher low, and now sort of price is pushing back up, and we're starting getting some nice convergence here on the indicators too. Coming across here to the weekly chart, we can just see the change of formation from this downtrend into now a new sort of decisive uptrend. We've got lovely convergence on the indicators, we've got very decisive moves to the high side here, we've broken this level here of support and resistance. So if I just open this up, you can see this 9400 level has been very, very strong in this market, especially on these time frames. We've now broken through that quite decisively, and the market's moving to the high side. So we come down here to the daily chart, and we can see how price has just pushed through this level and it's continuing to make new highs. Now in doing so, here on the daily chart, we've now got all the moving averages all fanning in the right order, the 10, the 20 and the 50, and we've got lovely convergence here on the indicators too. So what we're looking for down here on these lower time frames, this is the 480 minute. We can see that we've just got beautiful flowing trend here, all the moving averages in the right order, lovely convergence here on the indicators too. And you know, we've had small bullish candles in the buy zone and price moving to the high side. You can just see how these small candles have reacted once price has pulled into this zone. So this trend flow pattern has worked in the past, and again I'm just market that I'm keeping a close eye on for further trend flow trading opportunities to the high side. Okay, the last market I'm going to take a look at here today is the Nasdaq. Now, looking here on the monthly chart, we can see that Nasdaq's just been in a beautiful, nice flowing trend for some time now. Just beautiful sort of trend flow trading opportunities on these charts, in fact on a lot of these time frames. And you can just see we've got moving averages all fanning in the right order. We've got nice convergence here on the indicators too. The same follows through here to the weekly chart with just lovely, convergence here on the indicators and all the moving averages in the right order. When we come down here to the daily chart, we can just see how much buying momentum is coming into this market. It's very, very strong to the upside. Now, the only thing that I keep on my radar here is that we're actually coming up to a big round number, so a little bit overextended there on the daily chart on these lower time frames, but not very much. But we are coming up to a big psychological number, this big 3,000 number. Now, if I come right down to the very low time frames, I'll show you what sort of trading opportunities I'm looking at. There are trend flow trading opportunities on pretty much most of the time frames, coming right the way down to the sort of 15-minute chart even. But when you start to take a look at the 15-minute chart, we can see that we're actually coming up and forming a level here of resistance. Now, we've got one test here, or at least a couple of tests here, another test here, another test here. So we've got numerous tests of this level right underneath this 3,000 level. Now, normally this 3,000 level would start to be a bit concerned about this, but if we look here at the indicators, we've got indicators just in agreement with the current price action. So we've got no divergence on these indicators, and I'm going to keep a close eye on this for a potential trading opportunity on these low time frames. If we get another test of this level and a break with some lovely convergence on the indicators, then we could at least get a very low risk trade to the high side, maybe up to these old highs up here with a stop just underneath the lows. We could easily get ourselves a one-to-one, so cover our risk before we need to worry about price making new highs and continuing higher. So that's what I'm keeping a close eye on with the Nasdaq. Other than that, I'm keeping an eye on for trend flow opportunities on the lower time frames as well. Okay, so that concludes the midweek market outlook and potential trading opportunities to look out for this week. I'd like to thank you for watching the Open Ecrime midweek market commentary and look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.